Hi guys, so I'm here to film the mid-year book freakout tag. I've already read 70 books this year, so this is going to be a difficult one. So the first question is the best book you've read so far. This is hard because I have given so many books 5 stars and they're all really good, but my standout ones have been these two, because I can't narrow it down to just one. The first one being The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This is such a unique world, such a unique writing style. She writes in second person for part of the perspective of this, and it's just really good. The world is amazing, the world building is amazing, and I'm in love with some of these characters. They're just so good. And I need to read the third one. The third one is on my to read now list. But I really like this. In this world we follow people who have the ability to change the earth and how the earth moves, and yet they are frowned upon and kept locked away and under rule. In this world we also have seasons, and the seasons are almost like the end of the world, but not quite. Like, society manages to rebuild itself after these seasons, but then the 5th season comes and everything isn't what it seems. This is just so good, so unique. I'm loving this book and I've been recommending it to everyone. It's just so good. The next book that is also kind of one I can't stop thinking about is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Now, I haven't picked up the second book yet. I don't know why. I keep putting it off. I think it's because I want it in paperback, but I'm gonna have to break down and just get it. But this is about a girl named Ren, and we follow her as she's wanting to escape the life she's been born into, and she trains for the Kenju and gets into the most elite school, and then war breaks out. And it's just so good. It had funny moments and heartbreaking moments. It was just such a ride. Now, there are lots of trigger warnings for this. Please look into them if you are sensitive to war crimes and violence and things like that. But it is really good. The writing was stunning, and I love Rin, which is odd because she's probably not the most lovable character. But yeah, these are two of the best books that I have read so far this year. I love them. They're so good. I can't just name one for a lot of these, and this one I can't just name one, and that is best sequel that I've read so far, and I've read 2 that have stuck out, and that is A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Camarera. This is the sequel to A Curse of Dark and Lonely, and I adore these books. They're YA fantasy books, but they're just really good. I like the characters. In here we're following some of the characters from A Curse of Dark and Lonely, but we also get introduced to another character, and I just think the women, the young women represented in these books are so admirable and just so good. In A Curse of Dark and Lonely we follow Harper as she sees a girl being kidnapped, and she goes to stop it and ends up being transported to the world where we meet Ren, and he's been cursed, and we watch them kind of unfold into friends, and then maybe romance ensues. But they are really good. They're really empowering, and I just love the story. I love the world. I think they're very good, well told, well written books. And of course, if you didn't see this one coming, The Obelisk Gate. I adored this book just as much as the first one. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like where the story goes in this one, but man, this one just hit me somewhere deep and dark, just like the first one did. They're so good. I am going to pick up the third one as soon as I read a few more books off my TBR, but I adored this. I can't scream about N.K. Jemisin enough. She's so talented. So good. Then on to the third question, and that is a new release you haven't gotten to yet, and you don't see this one coming. This is N.K. Jemisin's The City That We Became. This is her newest book, and it sounds really good. It's loosely, I only know loose, because I think with N.K. Jemisin I really want to go into her books not knowing very much, because that's how I went into the 5th season, and wow, it blew my mind. But The City We Became is about what if what if cities were alive and had feelings, and I think it's based in New York, and it's kind of loosely based and has some stuff that's been happening in the US currently and over the past few years, and I think it just sounds really, really good. I'm so excited for it. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year, of course, there's so many, I will pop some up now, but the two that stand out is The Sin Eater, which is a magical kind of retelling on the occupation that used to be the Sin Eaters, where people would go and like eat in order to take away people's sins. I don't know too much about this part of history, but I think it's really interesting, and the fact that there's like a magical twist on it sounds really good. And the second book is Cemetery Boys, and this is about a young man who his family is not accepting of his true gender, and the boys in the family, the men in the family, all have magic, and he has to prove that, you know, this is him, he is capable of that, he is true of that, and it just sounds really good. It sounds fantastical, it sounds like everything I want in a book. So I'm very excited about these 2 books. They're definitely ones that I will be picking up as soon as they come out. The next question makes me sad, and that is the biggest disappointment. If you saw the vlog where I read this, you probably aren't too surprised, but I had such high hopes for this book, and the ending completely let me down. The ending was definitely a 2-star ending. I didn't like it very much at all, but I loved all the rest of the book, the writing, the idea, the concept, the execution for the most part. It's just the ending I didn't care for too much, and if you want to see exactly why, you can go and watch my first vlog, the first daily vlog, which I will link somewhere up here, but I have a spoiler section in that tells you why I didn't like this bit exactly. I'm not getting rid of it, it's staying on my shelves because I really did like the first bit. I loved it. It had the making of being such a good book. This is about a group of people who are in a hotel in Switzerland, and then the end of the world happens and people start dying. If that doesn't sound good to you, then you probably don't like murder mystery type stories, but it had more potential in the ending around it. It's a 5-star read, 2-star ending. I gave it 3 stars. It does make me super sad. So the next question is, what was your biggest surprise? And for that, the book that surprised me the most, that I fell in love with, was The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. Now, I had heard so many people complain about the way Leon's perspective was written, and I kind of didn't go in with high hopes, like, oh, it's gonna be cute, it's gonna be funny, but maybe I won't enjoy it as much as I hoped I would. But no, this is one of my newest favourite romances. I adored this book. In this, we follow Tiff and Leon as they share a flat. Leon works nights, so he is gone during the night time, and Tiff works during the day, and then Leon's gone during the weekends. And so they never meet each other, but they start communicating over notes, and it's just so cute, and romance ensues. But it also deals with like heavier topics, and I absolutely adored it. I read it on my Kindle, but I definitely want to get a physical copy of it because it was so good, and I do want to read The Switch, which I think came out this year. So yeah, I adored this book. It was so good. So good. Highly recommend if you're looking for a read. The next question is newest favourite author, N.K. Jemisin. I want to read her entire backlist. She's amazing, and I follow her on Twitter, which made me love her even more. She's great. Love her stuff. The next one is newest fictional crush. So that could be anyone from The Priory of the Orange Tree, because the characters in here are amazing. And also, I can't tell you who, but you know who. You know who. There are 3 people in this book who I adore. And I can't tell you who because it would spoil it, but I love them, and I may or may not have a crush on them. Newest favourite character. I've got so many characters that I love. Let's go with Rin, or some people out of this book, or some people out of this book. Like, I just love everyone. I get really attached to characters, so, but yeah, all of the above. A book that made you cry. So I could talk about the 5th season, The Other Escape, The Poppy War, but the books I'm going to talk about are these two actually. These I both gave 4 stars. I think upon reread this one would probably get higher. They both made me cry. They're really, really good. I highly recommend them. And that is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. And this is about a cafe that has a chair where you can time travel, and there's rules to time travel, but some of the people who we follow who use that ability, it's just, this book is so good but like heartbreaking at the same time. I bought this book for people because I love it and it is really special. I really enjoy it and highly recommend it. And then the next one is Colorist Tsukuru Tazaki by Haruki Murakami. Some of the things that happened in this book just hit me in the feels, and like the loss of friendship, man, just, it was very good. And in this we follow Tsukuru as he's kind of dealing with his past and the day that all his friends abandoned him and said they didn't want to talk to him anymore, and we find out why this happened, what consequences it's had on his life, and can he fix those relationships. It's very good. I really like it. I do want to reread it because I gave it 4.5, and this is another one that I read during quarantine, and I think my reading might have been affected slightly, but I will give this another read and see how I feel about it. Oh, the next one is a book that made you happy, and that is The Binding by Bridget Collins. I can't tell you too much that happens in this, but man, I loved this book. It was good. It was good. It gave me the feels, it gave me the fuzzies. It was so good. And in this we follow a young man who has been requested, I don't know how you would, he's kind of forced, let's say that, to becoming the apprentice to a bookbinder. And in this world, books are bad and you learn why books are bad, but it's so good. I loved this world, I loved our characters, and I wish I could have more background on this world. It was so good and I really loved it. The next question is the most beautiful book, and The Binding definitely falls into that. I got this as a birthday present and it is stunning. So you've got this beautiful like floral cover. It's so pretty with like this gold foiling, and then you have this like deep purple sprayed edging. But wait, it gets even more like stunning. Take off the dust jacket. Look at that gold foiling, beautiful book. I love this. And then the end pages, just how beautiful. I love this book. Yeah, so how beautiful is this? I adore this book. It's so pretty. It's such a good story. Oh, I love it. And then if we're just talking about a dust jacket that's beautiful, probably the orange tree, because look at this dragon. Is this not just, I love the art style, I love the dragon, I love everything about it. And then the last question is, what books do you need to read before the end of this year? I need to read The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, and maybe all of her books if I can do that. And then I need to tackle my TBR shelf. I've been doing really well at it, and then my Kindle TBR. Right guys, so that is it for this tag. Let me know, what is your favourite book you've read this year? Is there more than one? Are there lots? What is one that blew your mind? Let me know down in the comments below, and I hope you're staying safe, happy and healthy, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye guys!